So why would anyone like to confirm their Polish citizenship? There are basically two major reasons why people do it. The first one is a very pragmatic one. So if you have the Polish citizenship, you can apply for the Polish passport, and the Polish passport is a European Union passport. It gives you open access to the EU market, work market. There are smaller fees that apply for the EU citizens at the European universities. That might be interesting for those of you who have kids. And also something very basic, less queuing at the EU passport control. This is especially interesting for those of you who are traveling a lot for business to Europe. And the second reason why people confirm their Polish citizenship is the emotional value that they attach to having the citizenship of their ancestors being confirmed. So welcome to my channel. My name is Kasia and I am your Polish guide and genealogist. I also do research for movies, books and museums. I specialize in the history of the Polish Jews, but on this channel you will find also some more general information on the research of your ancestors' history. We are also going to cover some topics related to the citizenship confirmation. So the first thing that we should ask ourselves is what type of law we have in Poland. And this is also going to respond to the question on how is it possible that people are confirming their citizenship if the last ancestor that lived in Poland was a great-grandfather. So basically there are two types of citizenship laws. One is what we call the jus soli, and it is the birthright citizenship, something that we, for example, have in United States. Being born in a country, you are acquiring the citizenship of that country. And this is not the case in Poland. In Poland, we have what we call jus sanguinis, and it means the right of blood type of citizenship. And it actually means that even though the ancestor who left Poland was your great grandfather, and it was like 100 years ago, and since then nobody from your family put their feet on the Polish soil, you can still confirm the Polish citizenship because you have Polish blood in your veins. So the type of the citizenship that is based on the right of blood. So before we continue, if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, share, like and comment. You can also support me via YouTube or Patronite. And now we are going to pass to our topic for today, the Polish citizenship confirmation. So how to confirm your Polish citizenship? So as I told you, it is enough to have the Polish ancestor. And this is already complicated. Why? Because many of you had ancestors who left Poland prior to the Polish independence. And now we have to explain it. Poland has quite a complicated history. In the end of the 1700s, we lost the independence. The country was divided, split in between Russia, Prussia, so Germany, and Austria. And so we lost the independence for 123 years. So there was no Poland on the map of Europe. We only regained the independence in 1918, but it was not the end of the Polish struggle, because for a couple of more years we still had to fight for the definition of the Polish borders, which means that those who are leaving Poland, for example, in 1910, they were leaving the country not as Polish citizens, but as the citizens of those foreign countries that were occupying Poland at that time. So then it will be complicated for you to prove that your ancestor was Polish. Now, the first law on the Polish citizenship entered in force in January 1920, and it was stating that whoever was living in Poland and was inscribed in the books of the inhabitants was getting the Polish citizenship. Then another way to get the citizenship after Poland regained the independence was if you were living abroad and you wanted to confirm your Polish citizenship, you had to present yourself in front of the Polish authorities, say, I want to be Polish, but at that time you had to resign from the foreign citizenship. So you can imagine it will be the case of a very, very few people, mostly those who wanted to come back to Poland after Poland regained its independence. Some other major rules were that married women were getting the citizenship of their husband. So if a lady was a foreigner, but she was marrying a Pole, then she was getting his citizenship. Legitimate children were taking the citizenship after their father, and illegitimate children were taking the citizenship after the mother. This was the law until 1951. Later, it was less restrictive. And there was also the rule of only one citizenship. So basically, you were not supposed to get the citizenship of a different country. And here we are getting to another topic. So we know how your Polish citizenship was confirmed once Poland regained the independence, but then we have to know that there were several ways of losing the Polish citizenship. The law was changing. The most restrictive part of that law was in between 1920 and 1951. So at that time, you could lose your Polish citizenship by being naturalized in a foreign country. However, this would you could be prevented from the loss of the citizenship in such a case if you were a man and if you were in the age of making the military service in Poland. So if you were in the age of making the military service in Poland, this was preventing you from the loss of the Polish citizenship. Then the second way to lose the Polish citizenship was an unpermitted military service in a foreign army. And again, we have an exception here. So if the service, and here we are talking about both the active and reserve duty, would take place during the Second World War, and the person was serving in an allied country army, then this would prevent that person from losing the Polish citizenship. If it was outside the Second World War, then I'm sorry, but the loss of the citizenship would occur. Of course, it was not very, very restrictive, like you had to be discharged the day the Second World War ended. No, we know that it didn't happen like this from like one day to another one. So even if the service was a bit longer than the years of the Second World War, then you could still confirm your Polish citizenship. For women, marriage with a foreigner would result in a loss of the Polish citizenship. Then there were also several professions that were making people lose their Polish citizenship, and we are talking about what we call public functionaries in a foreign country. So actually, if you were, for example, a policeman, if you were a postman, a teacher, a priest, though like priests were not supposed to have kids, but a rabbi, then this would result in a loss of the Polish citizenship if this profession was exercised in a foreign country. And then wife and children under the age of 18 were losing their Polish citizenship together with their parents. And this is very important. Why? Because, for example, in the case of the military service, the military age in Poland was changing throughout the years because of the Second World War. And it happened that sometimes you could have like 5 children, and the day the father would lose the Polish citizenship, 2 of them were already 18 years old and 3 of them were under 18 years old. And in such a case, the 2 eldest one, they would keep their Polish citizenship because they would not lose it together with their father. So this is what applies to the law in between 1920 and 1951. Then from 1951 until 1962, if you were taking on the citizenship of a different country with the consent of the Polish authorities, then it would result in the loss of the Polish citizenship. Although not really everyone was asking the Polish authorities for permission, so it does really not concern so many people. Children under the age of 13 were losing their Polish citizenship together with their parents. Also, because the borders of Poland changed after World War II, if you were living in the territories that were lost by Poland after World War II, and you would get a passport of Russia or of one of the Russian republics like Belarusian, Ukrainian, Lithuanian, Latvian, Estonian, or German a passport or ID document, then you were also losing the Polish citizenship. Then another way to lose the Polish citizenship was to choose the foreign citizenship for your children. But this choice had to be like fully expressed on paper and in front of the Polish authorities. And again, this is not something that a lot of people would do. Then in between 1962 and 2012, you would lose the citizenship by renouncing the Polish citizenship in front of the Polish authorities, and this included also children under the age of 16. Starting from 2012, if you want to renounce the Polish citizenship in front of the Polish authorities, that's basically the only way to lose it. So here we have the major ways that the Polish citizenship could be lost. If none of those points apply to your different family members, because we are not only talking about the one who emigrated, we are also talking about the next generations until yourself. And if you see that the ancestor lived in Poland, left Poland when Poland was Poland, and that there was no event of the loss of the Polish citizenship, then you can pass to the next point. The next point is, what kind of documents would you need to confirm all the above? So first of all, you should have the birth certificate of your Polish ancestor after whom you are confirming your Polish citizenship. This is the general rule. However, sometimes it happens that the documents were destroyed and you are simply not able to get such a document from the Polish archives. In such a case, you might be asked to recreate your Polish citizenship, your Polish ancestors' birth record. if it is not possible, there are other documents that can prove when and where this ancestor was born. So sometimes in very rare cases we can skip this document, but in very, very rare cases. Then you will need the subsequent vital acts that prove your connection to that Polish ancestor. Then you will also need a proof that your Polish ancestor was Polish and hold the Polish citizenship. It could be documents like Polish passport, military documents, inhabitants books, notary documents, good conduct attestations, and other documents of that type. Actually, any kind of a Polish issued document would be valuable. Then you will certainly need documents that will confirm the emigration year, like, for example, the ship manifests. Then you will also need documents confirming the naturalization date of your ancestors. And then regarding your individual case, you might also need some more documents. So, for example, if your ancestor left Poland before 1951 and also got naturalized before 1951, you will most probably be asked about the military, the non-military service attestation from the country where your ancestor was naturalized. Now, as I said, more documents can be required regarding your very specific case. So, once you have the documents, and of course all those documents, they cannot be just like copies. They have to be either originally issued documents or copies confirmed by the state authorities of a foreign country or of Poland. So originals or authenticated copies are going to be needed for this process. So once you have all those documents, you can apply to get the Polish citizenship via the consulate, or you can also ask someone to do it for you. Then in most of the cases it's going to be processed in the Mazovian office here in Warsaw. So I hope this video was helpful, that it gave you some hints about the Polish citizenship confirmation. I will upload some more videos going deeper into the details of the citizenship, Polish citizenship confirmation process. So thank you for your attention. Have a lovely day, and I wish you all the luck with your research on the Polish ancestors.